Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Fyxshion Reydiou. Today we're going to be talking about a really cool new anime that's been going on in, I think it was the past 2 months, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes, and yeah, it's about the rise of the hero shield. So Shinja, will you tell us a little bit about this anime?
Right. So, The Rising of the Shield Hero is one of those isekai animes, which basically means that it's another one of those. You take a person from one world and teleport them to another world. It's got the whole ReZero, Sword Art Online sort of thing. What are other animes that did it? Overlord.
Yeah.
There's so many, I can't think of all the names right now, but it's been a popular genre for a while. Like, take one character from one world, send it to another world. The big difference with this anime and other animes is that normally when they send one character to another world, it's unexplained and it's just one character. In this one, they tell you right off the bat, like how they were summoned, and then also there's multiple characters summoned, and we have 4 heroes in this world. Each one was a different weapon: sword, spear, bow, and then lastly shield. And so the protagonist of the show, as you might have already guessed, is the shield hero. He's the only hero without an actual weapon. They all start with weapons, and he has a shield, so he's already at a weird disadvantage. He can't actually equip any other weapons either.
He's the lamest of them all.
Yeah, it's not like he can have his shield and then on his sub hand or whatever equip something else. It's not like a good MMO. He just has this weird shield. Yeah, the whole story, basically, and I think I can say this because in the description of Crunchyroll it says it like this. He gets pretty much screwed over by the people in the world. So, because they seem to be looking down on the shield hero specifically. So, basically, his life is really tough in this world. So, that's one of the things I like about this anime in contrast to other isekai animes. Usually you get someone teleported, they're OP, they're max level or whatever, they're super smart, they have some sort of thing that makes them more powerful than anyone in the whole world or whatever. This one, he's literally he's the worst and everyone hates him.
Yeah, literally. This is the protagonist that you will see that even the audience per se, this guy is so lame at first. Everyone hates him. He's being betrayed by a hot chick too.
Yeah. So you can tell it was gonna come.
Yeah.
Everyone could tell. It was this is too good to be true.
Yeah, she's way too nice to him. He's gotta do. Yeah, I was like, man, something's up.
Yeah. So the anime is, it's a little bit refreshing to see that, because like I said, every other isekai anime, it's the guy is just overpowered. There's nothing that stands in his way. Everything goes really easily. This guy, not necessarily. He's actually the one that is having the most difficulty.
Yeah.
And not to say every other isekai anime is like this. ReZero wasn't exactly like this. But stuff like, let's say, Sword Art Online, where it went Kirito's way all the time, and Overlord, where he's a powerful being from straight off the bat,
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
So this one starts being a 40. I think it was a 40-minute episode, the first one.
First episode was 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna start watching this anime, know that if you only have 20 minutes around, don't start. First episode's 40 minutes. Every other episode, normal anime viewing time. But I like that.
Yes.
Because it took more time to establish the story and whatnot. They could have ended the first episode at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't, but
yeah, it's that first impression. That's what caught people off guard. It was 40 minutes, and it was that good.
Yeah. And it didn't feel long either. That's the thing.
Not at all. Yeah. Like the guy suffering, it was like, damn, this dude.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I think we're already in the 7th episode, 6th episode. I don't remember. It's I think the last episode.
I'm pretty sure it's like 6.
Yeah.
Like I'm like so like anxiously waiting for the next episode like each day. So
yes.
I'm almost sure it's like no, 5 episodes. Unless you count episode 1 as 2 episodes.
Exactly, yeah.
It's 5 episodes right now.
Damn. And it has happened a lot in there. Like it is really fast paced. So this dude's development is kind of weird, and it's like a dream. It's like this kind of like a dream MMO type of RPG game that we all want to have to upgrade our weapons, especially our shield. So yeah, basically this guy upgrades with well, how do you call those things?
He uses like monster parts and like just like loot that enemies and monsters like drop behind. So like normally, in an anime you beat any crappy like monster or whatever, and you get some sort of like drop. And so it's those drops that he like uses to upgrade his shield. And that's how all the heroes upgrade their like weapons. They feed their item or weapon stuff around them. So later on you'll see him like even feeding them plants and stuff that he finds around. And it's really cool because depending on what he feeds it, it changes the attribute of the shield as well.
Yes.
So like later on you'll see one that's like, since he feeds it so many plants, it's like plant-based, and it can like help him do alchemy and stuff like that. And there's one that looks like a rope or something, so now his shield can be used to climb and stuff like that. So it's like it's not super useless, the shield, but later on like they show like the other weapons, and it's like, oh yeah, those are kind of like really handy,
Yes. So the upgrades of the shield is that impresses me a lot, since it's just a freaking shield, but the variation that this guy has with this, he actually uses as a weapon too sometimes, since he fights with the shield, and
he doesn't really do much damage with it.
Yeah.
But they have that one episode where he does like a one-on-one fight with someone, and like they get to show like, oh, if you're smart, you can like chain a bunch of like the different shields and stuff to like, actually it's actually really cool. You're not really doing any damage, but you're like stopping people, and you're like trapping them, and like in creative ways you can defeat them.
Oh yes.
So it looked like it's the kind of class in an RPG or an MMO that I would like to try, just to get creative with it.
Yeah, but we're so limited in this real world. But in that world, I hope they do a licensed game of that anime. It would be really cool.
Well, it'd be interesting because it wouldn't be able to be an MMO. It'd have to be like a normal RPG.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because the whole premise of the anime, the reason why it makes his life harder is because none of the heroes are allowed to work with each other for some reason. They're only they are purposely split up because they don't level up if they work together.
Exactly.
So like right off the bat, they're kind of made each other's like, not really enemies, but like they're definitely not allies.
They're just rivals. Just randomly just fight each other some time to time. Man,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about that later. So about this girl that our protagonist bought.
It's no, there's no easy way to put it. Yes.
Yeah. So this kind. So he actually bought this girl. It's what is she exactly?
She's a if I remember correctly, it was a raccoon.
Yeah.
She's a raccoon demi-human.
That
Which
thing.
I think is really cool or cute.
Yes, yeah, totally. Like she started being a lolly at first, but then
Yeah, I know. She's like this poor. It's kind of saddening because the way they like introduce her, it's like it's this poor girl that's been sold into slave ship. That she is diseased, so she has an illness, and she has psychological trauma. It's like, oh crap, like she's like really like in horrible conditions.
Totally, yeah.
Like it's almost like if you like it's weird because like the anime almost makes you not see her as human, you know. They've
Right.
focused more on the like animal part.
Yeah.
So like for that one moment I kind of did see like an animal, you know. Like it's like if you were to go to an animal shelter and there's like, oh yeah, this animal has worms, it has all these diseases, it's lost this leg, it's like it'll always bite you when you say this or touch it here or whatever. Like it's like, yeah, I'm not taking that one.
Yeah.
But of course we all knew from the moment that he saw her, it was like, yep, this is the one or whatever.
Was that on the first episode that right at the end?
No, this happened in episode 2.
2? Okay.
Episode 1 mainly ended with dude getting betrayed and him just being like, well, you know what? Fuck all of you. I don't need any of you.
And he has this cool cape, or like not a cape, it's this kind of
I forget what to call it, but like
Yeah,
shawl.
something
I
like
don't know
that.
I don't know if a shawl is the right word, but it's like a hood. Or not really. I mean, I guess he can use it as a hood.
He uses that as a hood too.
It's a cape. Let's just say it's.
Yeah, it's something. Okay, it looks cool on him.
Yeah.
So basically, he hires this girl / animal, and
He enslaves her.
Yeah, well,
Hiring is a nice word, because hiring
Yeah,
implies
hiring,
that,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna pay you and whatnot. No, she's a slave. Yeah.
exactly. But he uses her for attack purposes. Since he can't barely like make a lot of damage attacking, so he. Yeah, he just uses her to for attack. Obviously not a one-on-one battle, but if it's like a multitude of a lot of enemies, yes.
Yeah, they've got a whole party system going on where like, he's the shield, so he'll like he'll protect her, he'll protect other people around like the citizens and whatnot. He'll lay traps or stuff like that, and he's basically support, and then she attacks.
Yes.
So it's really interesting. There's sort of a love story going on, not really.
That was about that. Hold on. Hold your horses, Shinja. Okay, so this girl was a lolly. We just have to make that clear.
Yeah.
And
the girl
this,
can't be older than 10 years old or something.
yeah. But this, out of nowhere, she just grew some ass and boobs out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was really weird because the anime doesn't explain it, but literally only less than a month has passed, and she's a grown woman already.
Yeah.
And it's like, excuse me? Like, it's not even like she looks cleaner and that's it, and she's the same. No, she literally grew up the size of like a young adult woman in like a month.
A month, yeah.
And it was really weird, because it's like, are you 10 now? Are you like 20 or like 18? Like what are you? And the anime explains it later on, so it's less of a lowly thing now, and it's more like, oh, okay, she's a full-fledged adult, but it was just weird.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me at first. I was like, okay, maybe she just leveled up, something like that. You just have to like see it as a video game. She leveled up, she grew up to whatever.
Yeah, that's literally the explanation. That's the explanation I came up before they like gave the official one, and then they're like, oh yeah, so like demi-humans, like when they level up, it like when they're kids, it like affects their growth. So they grow up as they level up. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll accept that answer. Makes sense to me. But you know, quite a few people are bothered. Was it like people are getting tired of the lowly trend?
Yeah. So there's some parts in some episode that they're like really close to each other, and then like there was this episode that she was like kind of sick. She has a fever or something, and then he was like taking care of her like it was like the girlfriend and all that. I was like, man.
Yeah, but there's nothing romantic going on.
Yeah, there's nothing romantic at all.
He he literally just he still sees her as a child. And then he doesn't really see her as anything more than like someone to attack for him. You know, later on there's healing of the heart that goes on, and so like he sees her as more than that, but it's still kind of just like, you know, he still kind of sees her as just like that little girl or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, there's another character coming on. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that watches, because like it caught me off guard, so I hope it catches everyone off guard.
Of course.
But other people are mad as well, because they're like, really, another loli?
Yeah. The last episode, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and so you can see her if you go to Crunchyroll and you see the poster, you can see her there on the poster.
Yeah.
So like you kind of knew there was another character gonna be involved, but
yeah.
Like...
Yeah. So
really, guys.
So the other heroes. Let's talk a little bit about the other heroes. So there is a guy with a stick.
A spear?
Spear, yeah, that thing. And there's four of them. There's four. There's a shield. There's the guy with a stick. There's a guy with a sword, right?
And then there's the bow and arrow guy.
Yeah.
So it's like each one, you know, like they have different fighting styles, obviously. But those three are offensive rather than defensive, like the shield hero. And they all have different personalities. Because like you know, it gets revealed that not only are they from a different world from like that fantasy world, they're all from alternate universes as well. So like they all have different personalities. They all like know like different types of games or whatever, like or RPG fantasy settings. Like they know like basically kind of the same general knowledge, but they're different in that regard. But yeah, like the sword hero is mostly like serious and like he gives no F's really.
Yeah.
Like he's the edgy guy.
Yeah.
And then we got the bow and arrow guy he's like the this is weird. This is gonna sound weird coming out, but the cute young one that is smart.
Yeah. Stereotype, kind of smart.
Yeah. even the looks, and she just, you know, he fits the stereotype
totally.
But yeah, he's the bow and arrow one. And then we got the spear, which is the quote unquote cool hot-headed guy. with long hair.
Yeah, he's the cocky one.
Yeah. And so immediately kind of like the anime sets the spear and the shield kind of against each other.
Yeah.
Not like immediately, but like it's just kind of set up that way. And I think it has to do with the whole analogy, like, you know, immovable shield and what's the spear, like the shield that, or no, the or I already forget that what the stick is called. Gosh dang it, you did it to me.
The stick guy.
I'm blanking on the stick. I was literally just saying it just a second ago, and now I'm like, stick. Spear.
Yeah,
there you go. The spear that breaks everything, you know. The all-piercing spear or whatever. So it's one of those like old analogies. So it's like, oh, of course they're natural enemies or whatever.
Exactly. And so this is a world where even I think the only guy that saw him with this other chick at the beginning, the guy in the shop, the one that was going to sell him other weapons. Yeah, he cannot use other weapons but the shield. It totally repels any kind of sword, spear, or any kind of type of weapon. So he is stuck with the shield forever. It has nothing to fix it. It's just what it is. But this guy, I thought he was going to be like the other guys, like hating on him all the time. Like, man, like this guy's getting a lot of hate. But then he just tried to help him out. So
yeah, well, because he could like sort of tell like something was up. And that's kind of what I like about the anime in a way. It's like it's one of those like I want to say a redemption story almost, but it's almost like, you know, he's literally put in the worst situation in the whole town in the game. Like, forget about game, like his life is ruined, you know, his social life, private life, everything's ruined. And he has to rebuild all that trust from literally like not even zero, like minus 100 or something. You know,
yes.
It's like you're playing a game like Infamous, and you have like the whole karma system. It's like time to get bad of all the bad karma.
Yes. So yeah, so about the fights and the latest fights in which our protagonists have been battling with the other heroes. Oh gosh. So about that, man, I'm really pissed off. Like, let's see if I cannot jump into spoilers, but yeah, there's he was fighting against the spear guy, was it? Or the sword guy?
That's the only guy he's fought against so far. Yeah,
so our hero, our shield hero, is actually having the advantage. Out of nowhere, the girl that betrayed him in the first place, she just barged in the battle, and oh my goodness. Yeah.
Obviously, he loses.
Yeah, obviously he loses.
It's like, you know, like, you just know, it's like, okay, come on, anime, just let it get, you know. I wasn't expecting a happy ending.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I mean,
it's like, yeah, this is gonna go bad, like horribly wrong. There's no other way for it.
Yeah. So it ended up being like even worse because the people didn't like, oh yeah, he still won.
No, yeah, it was like, I knew it was gonna be that bad. I was like, this anime has already, like, you know, made it clear that this world hates him, you know. And this isn't even like modern day like society and culture. This is still like medieval time like culture in a way where it's like you wanna like suck up to royalty and whatnot, so you'll even like, you know, you'll go with the lies and the shaming that everyone else does and says, you know, like you won't dare go against the crowd. So it was just like, as soon as I saw, like, you know, they're like, oh, let's have a duel, I was like, this is gonna go bad.
Yep.
It's really bad.
Yeah, at some point you just smell it, like, man, this is, he's not gonna have a better ending than the other one did. Like, this was gonna be even worse, because it's just get from bad to worse, but it's in a good way, because I like these kinds of stuff happening to the protagonist. And that's why, you know, this is why people got really tired of, you know, mainstream protagonists, that they are really powerful, everything is all fine, yeah, the protagonist gets all the girls at the end, and like,
yeah, no, they've made it like relatable in a way, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's no more of this like fantasy, like, yes, everything's going my way, which, you know, people enjoy, and like there's some anime that like have an interesting story even if it's like that, but it's like, you know, at this point it's like seeing it next. But yeah, and you know, we were talking about pacing earlier. That's one of the things I really appreciate about this anime, because take that episode about the fight that we talked about. Any anime would have made the fight itself an entire episode or whatever,
or 4 episodes.
Yeah, or 4 episodes. Basically, there would be no conclusion to it. Like, this anime, they took the duel challenge and everything leading up to the duel challenge, and then the fight and the conclusion of the fight, and they did it all in one episode. And man, was I so satisfied with that, because if it hadn't been like that, I probably would have dropped the anime, because like I'm the kind of person that like with anime, like if I know something's gonna go bad, I'm like, I don't want to watch it, like it's bad. I don't want to watch it. But I didn't have the chance, or I didn't get the opportunity to make that decision, because the anime made it for me. They showed it to me in one single episode. So
exactly.
I was very happy about that. I was like, oh, thank you, anime, for, you know, like not making me wait an entire week. Like, I had to wait an entire week for something else, but not for the stupid hook, like like a forced hook that every other anime does.
Yes, exactly. And knowing that the protagonist was still gonna lose, like, okay, let's just like wrap it up right here.
Yeah. It's just like, no one's gonna be surprised. He's gonna lose. How's it gonna happen? I don't know, but he's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose. So yeah, people, this anime is fully recommended. It's really cool. The fight scenes are great. The animation is also top notch. The art style is really cool. Give it a chance. It's new. It only has 5 episodes. Yeah, this one came out of nowhere, and there was like no hype for it at the beginning. Just like there was no hype for the protagonist.
Yeah, like we hadn't heard about this anime, and then it came out, and like literally it just being good is what like made it popular all of a sudden. So really happy about this. Can't recommend it enough.
Totally. All right, guys, we have reached the 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. This has been Zyber,
and this has been Shinja,
and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.